Okay, so today is Thursday, November, I believe it's the 28th. Yes, 28th, 2024. It is Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. So, just a couple housekeeping things right off the bat. Number one, I'm pretty upset. Like, not like actually that upset, but just a tiny bit. Because I woke up super early and I thought to myself, it'd be really cool if I could do the Thursday video. Like, I don't want to say get it out of the way, because it's not like, man, this is shit I want to get out of the way, because I really genuinely love doing these. I wouldn't be talking for like an hour at all of these. Probably also going to be like an hour. I'm loquacious to a fault. I was like, I can go ahead and do it. And the rest of my day, like, I can just like focus on hanging out with my family, taking care of some other stuff, which like we'll get to here in a bit. And I thought, it'd be really cool, since I'm here early, what if I could do it during sunrise? And you just get like a nice sunrise backdrop, and you get the like circle of life colors going on. You can see the sun reflecting on the lake. And it's just not happening. Like, I got here around sunrise, like maybe a couple minutes after, but like as the sun should still be rising, and it still looks kind of nice, but it's not quite the same. And I'm a little miffed. I'm not really that upset though. The other bit of housekeeping is this is basically 3 videos in one. Where on the one hand, I'm like, okay, there's actually some shit this week that like I want to be able to talk about, but it's also the last Thursday of November, and I kind of just want to do a November in review, but it's also Thanksgiving, so I want to talk about just the stuff I'm thankful for. And I don't think I'm gonna timestamp it. So if you want just the regular CTT stuff, that'll be the first chunk. November in review will be the second chunk. And then just, here's a bunch of shit that I'm thankful for. I don't want to say it like that. But like, here's a lot of things that I'm really thankful for that I guess I just kind of want to shout out at the end. So starting with the regular CTT. Last week was weird. Like, almost as soon as I finished recording, it was one of those weeks where it's like, all right, I finished recording, cool. It was just bizarre, not bad. And I think that's important to say. It was a week that really felt defined by clarity, both on my own end of just some things in my life that I feel like I got a better understanding of, and also just clarity with some of my friends. Like, had some deep conversations with some good friends of mine, some very unexpected conversations. And again, I enjoyed them. I feel like some of them were just really interesting, some of them were really important, but there was just kind of this underlying vibe of, huh? Just wasn't expecting that. Okay. Yeah, not bad, just weird. But getting into, like, this is not, I don't want to say this. This has nothing to do with, like, the sense of clarity, but it kind of has to do with the weirdness and the bizarreness. So Kendrick dropped a fucking album out of nowhere. Like, I liked it. I like JJNW'S quite a bit. I'm sorry, just all the mustard, all the fucking memes are killing me. I've seen this one, and it's of like just a drawing of like a thing of mustard going, Kendrick! I love that shit. I think the first meme I saw, aside from the RCD video, that's RDC, because it's Real Dreams Change the World, not Real Changes Dream the World, an idiot. Anyways, their video is how I learned that Kendrick dropped, by the way. But, aside from that, the first meme I saw was someone saying, it's like, dude, he shouted that shit like he was Kratos. I saw a video of Kratos. I've seen Kratos yell it. I've seen Shrek yell it. I have seen so many Dragon Ball characters yell it. This has become one of my favorite memes. Like, oh, man. I'm excited for the Super Bowl because I like watching football. Unless the Falcons are in it, then it's gonna be a miserable experience unless they lose by like 40. But anyways, like, aside from that, like, I am excited for the Super Bowl because I love the sport. I am so excited for the halftime show. I am so hyped to just hear a stadium of thousands of people just scream mustard. Which sounds so stupid out of context. And even in context, it's pretty damn silly to say. But I think it's going to be hyped. And now Drake is suing Kendrick, which I think is the funniest shit. Oh man. I'll be honest, I haven't like really read the lawsuit or super looked into it. So this is just very, very surface level knowledge. I might have a lot of shit wrong. My understanding is the suit is that there are bots, I don't know if it's Spotify, YouTube, both, that were artificially playing Kendrick's music, specifically Not Like Us, and I think he's saying it caused him economic harm, which would make sense because, well, A, I haven't really heard much from Drake after the beef, and 2, you have to actually claim damages in order to be able to sue somebody. Otherwise, like, what's the point? You can't just say, like, yeah, this guy was an asshole to me. It's like, okay, cool, but what legal recourse do you want from that? Again, like, with some exceptions, you can go to, like, IIED, which is an intentional infliction of emotional distress, or NIED, which is negligent infliction of emotional distress, which does not have economic harm, but that can have personal harm in terms of, like, emotional damages, because you can have physical damages, monetary damage. Sorry, there's a lot of different ways you can claim damages, but if Drake were to try to say, I'm claiming emotional damages, no one would ever take him seriously because this is a beef. Now you're going to go running to the court because you got your ass kicked. You're not going to live that down if you're claiming emotional damages. If you're trying to say, hey, he cheated and there was bullshit and it has hurt my bottom line, I'm not gonna say it looks favorably to Drake in the court of public opinion, at least from what I have seen, but that sounds a lot more dignified. And it's just a fascinating, like, the whole Kendrick Drake shit has been so fascinating to bear witness to. And, like, I am so excited to hear Not Like Us at the Super Bowl. And I think I saw a comment somewhere where someone was like, what if Kendrick is not able to play the song, so he just plays the instrumental and the crowd just does it for him like they did on Juneteenth? That would be brutal, being Drake. Oh, there was also that thing that happened I think it was the day the album dropped, or maybe the day after, where DeMar DeRozan was doing, like, I think a post-game interview. I think he's on the Kings now? Yeah, I mean, he was on the Raptors forever, and then I think he was on the Spurs for a couple years. I think now he's in Sacramento. Anyway, sorry. Where he's doing a post-game interview, and I think he's asked, like, did you know about the album or something? He's like, was it a surprise? He's like, maybe I knew. And I looked at that, and then I thought about how a little while before, Drake was like, yo, if they retire his jersey, I'll, like, go up to the rafters and bring that shit down. I was like, Drake is seething somewhere, just blaring Marvin's Room after listening to this shit. This is brutal, man. Holy crap. But, there was that. Like, this, I thought the whole thing with the album coming out of nowhere was kind of fucking bizarre. I'm almost done with Wukong. I am literally at the final boss. This thing is fucking hard. I'm getting to a point. And I say this as someone who has genuinely enjoyed a lot of what Wukong has to offer. I'm at a point where I'm like, I just kind of want to be done. I've been playing this game since, like, what, September? And I wanted to be done by the end of September, if not, like, mid-October. And granted, a lot of that is a lot of that is I've been doing other shit instead of playing the game, like doing a lot of writing. Massive fucking pin in that. But there have been reasons I haven't played as much Wukong that haven't just been I don't like the game or anything like that. But I feel like a lot of times when I do play the game, I'm like, this boss fucking sucks. And not just yeah, this fight is hard, but it's fun, or I'm learning. I'm like, no, this fucking sucks. Yellow Brow is ass. I think this fight is absolute primo, creme de la creme, dog shit. And then you've got other fights like the optional fight in Chapter 5. I want to call it the Blood-Starved Beast, but that's Bloodborne. But like the giant fire thing is terrible. I'm so glad I complained about it, because I was telling my buddy Wyatt, who's played Wukong, I'm like, dude, I fucking hate this fight. It's so hard. I am fighting the boss, the camera, and the frame rate at the same time. What do I do? And he's like, okay, so here's the thing. There's another arena. Like, when you're fighting the boss, you can do some shit to trigger another arena that's a lot bigger, and the boss's, like, element changes. And it's a lot easier to deal with. It was still a difficult fight, but it went from, what am I doing? Like, how do I not explode here, to, okay, this is manageable. But the fact that I essentially have to change the way the fight works to feel like I have a chance, and could I have beaten it in the fire thing? Probably eventually, because I kept getting close, like, notably very close. But, hate that thing. And then there's just other, like, level design choices, like the whole spike ball thing in Chapter 5. I just didn't think it was fun. It was, like, kind of fun for a bit, and then I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. This sucks. Chapter 6 is super open worldness. In a game where I've already complained about not having a map, this is a part that I feel like really needed to have a map. Sorry, I thought I saw the sun coming up in the mirror. I was like, is it? No. Almost. I think the purple there looks a little, I don't know. Sounding really silly. Anyways. I'm at the final boss. And I've given it a few attempts, and I'm like, I think I'm at a point where if I beat him by the end of the week, hell yeah, I beat Wukong. If I don't beat it by the end of the week, then okay, I'm just gonna move on with my life. I'm not really having fun anymore, and there have been a lot of times playing the game where it just hasn't been fun. I think Chapter 1 is amazing. I think Chapter 4 is amazing. And I think a good chunk of Chapter 5 is amazing. Chapter 2, to me, was kind of hit or miss. Chapter 3, I thought fucking sucked. And Chapter 6 is, I don't know. It's just kind of weird. That's where I'm at with that. I still have this giant pen. I'll talk about that in a second, because I didn't write this other thing down, so I need to make sure I go and say it. So, we've been trying to get, I think I mentioned this like a few months ago, we got a lot of our shit moved, and we just kind of had it in storage. So now we're trying to actually get our stuff out of storage. So yesterday, I was able to get a lot of my stuff. I was able to get, like, a box of my video games, of like books, some of my like plushies and whatnot. So I'm off today, because like it's Thanksgiving, it's a holiday. And also I'm off tomorrow. So I'm hoping between these next couple of days, I can really just kind of sift through it and get a lot of my stuff. I found Chain of Memories, weirdly enough, because I mentioned that, oh, the sun is coming up. Fuck yeah. Okay, hold up. I don't know how well, oh no, I don't think you can really see it because of the color, but we do have sun coming up. We did get the actual sunrise video. You just trust me, bro. Shit. Anyways, I did actually find Chain of Memories, which genuinely dead ass I didn't know I had, because I thought that was stolen from me. I guess it was not in the DS at the time. That was just really nice and pleasant to find out. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say about that. Oh, I guess there's a joke. Like, I am really excited to go through that collection. I found my copy of Return to Dreamland, which made me really happy. I found my copy of Colosseum, so my copy of XD should be in there too, which I want both of those back on my shelf. I absolutely love those games. So that's that. Let me take the giant pin out of the wall. It's done. this current draft of Orichalcum is finally done. I still have to edit. I feel like a lot of chapters that I really want to go over again and kind of pay close attention to. So it's not done. It's almost like I finished phase 1. Now it's time for phase 2. And this is like the third major draft of the novel. So I guess you could argue this is in general like phase 3. It's kind of like the final boss of Wukong, where, as my friend described it to me, it's 2 bosses, but 4 phases. And, like, I am on the second boss. I'm on the final boss, and we took care of Erlang as well. But, this is, I guess I'm on phase 2 of the 3rd boss of Orichalcum. It's kind of a weird way of phrasing it, but I think that makes sense. I understand what I'm saying. Maybe I'm not explaining it very well, but anyways, so that's what we're gonna do. I don't know when I'm gonna start that. There's a part of me that's like, I'm starting that today. I might just kind of say, no, give me a day off. And then maybe Friday or Saturday, I will actually start. Oh, sorry, this just looks so fucking cool and so pretty. I'm sorry you can't see it very well here. Fuck, that's cool as shit, though. But yeah, anyways, very happy to be done with the draft. Looking forward to the edits. There's that part of me that goes, okay, now that you finished the draft, I know you still got shit to do. Should I go back to Severance? I'm like, I think I kind of want to keep striking while the iron's hot. So hopefully I could get a lot of Severance done in December. But I'm really glad, even if I still have more shit to do, I was able to at least finish the drafting and like the substantial rewrites and adding all the new shit before the end of November. That's something I know I'm thankful for. So that's kind of concludes the CTT part of the video. Now we go to the November in review. So in terms of music, I finished listening to Kendrick just in time for Kendrick to drop again, so I'm caught up on Kendrick again. I listened to Matchbox 20, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. I don't think I enjoyed it as much as maybe some other groups as a whole that I've listened to this year, but More Than You Think You Are is an album I absolutely love. I think I was actually talking about this last week, because I remember talking about Mad Season, specifically You Won't Be Mine, and how much I really liked that song. But I liked Matchbox 20 quite a bit. I was listening to Fuel, and I think I mentioned this too. It's like Fuel has 2 songs I absolutely love, and I was like, let me listen to the rest of their stuff. Man, Shimmer is amazing. The rest of this first album is just kind of okay. And then listen to this next one, I'm like, man, Hemorrhage is a phenomenal song. The rest of this is kind of okay. And then I listened to the third album, like, I don't know any of the songs from here. I think I enjoyed the album as a whole a bit more, but it still just kind of felt okay. They have other albums, and I'm like, I just don't care enough to continue. And it's not like a thing with Drake, where there was a point where I really didn't care enough to continue. I'm like, I'm so close to being done that I might as well. And I'm also like, they really had like pretty major lineup changes around this time, so I can maybe make the excuse that it's not the same band. So I'm just gonna drop them from here. I'm sorry, Fuel. I'm sorry, Fuel fans. It just, as a whole, just never really clicked with me. But I will always stand Shimmer and Hemorrhage as songs I absolutely fucking love. In terms of shows, I watched Monogatari. The new arc was phenomenal. I've been caught up on, I actually can't say I'm caught up on Dan to Dan or Survivor, because I didn't watch Survivor yesterday. I haven't seen any spoilers, so I think what I'm going to do after this is I'm going to shower, because I was like, I'm just going to go to the lake and get my shit done. So I think I'm going to go for a walk, which sounds like a really nice idea, because like the gym's closed and it's a pretty morning. It's also like 30 degrees outside, so I'm probably like, I'm gonna walk. Never mind. Then I'm gonna like take a shower and then watch Survivor and get caught up. I'm not caught up on Dan to Dan because I haven't seen, I think it's episode 8. It might be episode 7. The last one I watched was about the woman and her daughter, and it was emotionally traumatizing. I feel like I said this exact thing last week. I feel like I made a Good Place reference, just said it was devastating. I'm devastated now. I haven't seen the episode after that, so I either have 1 or 2 episodes that I need to catch up on. But, and like either today or tomorrow, I want to get caught up on Dan to Dan. I am caught up on Pokemon Horizons with was the latest episode Cleavor? I think it... Sorry, dang in my mouth. No, sorry, it wasn't Cleavor, because the last episode was Grandma coming back, and then them talking about, like, some lore shit. Then they met their ancestor, and then so next week's episode, I think it's supposed to be, like, a backstory episode. I don't talk about Pokemon Horizons very much on this channel. I'll kind of mention it every now and then. I'm like, yeah, it's really good. I really enjoy it. Just because I'm not talking about it doesn't mean I'm not actively watching it or actively loving it. I am so enjoying Pokemon Horizons, and I am hyped as fuck for the next episode. I am convinced, I know I've said this a few times, that the Shiny Rayquaza Terra Raid it's not just like, yeah, this is a reference to the show. It's like, oh, okay, this is when they're gonna get it in the show. It's like late December, so I don't know, like 5 weeks, 6 weeks or so. I think it's gonna happen, and I am hyped for that. That's gonna be so cool. It's so good. Which kind of makes me wonder at that point, because I'm assuming hair. Ugh. I need to figure out what I'm doing with my hair. I don't want to cut it because I like how much hair I have, but there's a lot in my face, so I'll just cut that or something. I don't know. I feel like I've also said that a few weeks in a row and still haven't done anything with it. But I feel like Ray kind of has to be the last of the heroes that they get because of how like built up it's been throughout the series. So I'm assuming they're going to get Entei before then. So it's not going to be this week. So I don't know, maybe in like a couple weeks they'll get Entei and then they'll deal with that. And I don't know if they'll have a Methio in the party, if he's going to just still kind of be doing his own like third party shit. Don't know, but I'm excited to find out. In terms of movies, I actually watched quite a bit in November. I watched -1, and I loved it. I watched Look Back, and I loved it. I watched The Wild Robot, and I loved it. I watched Jodorowsky's Dune, and I loved it. I watched Ringing Bell a couple days ago, and I loved it. Was it yesterday? No, I think it was Tuesday? Maybe it was yesterday. No, it wasn't. Sorry, just kidding. Days are blending together. But I'm 90% sure it was Tuesday. I tried watching Megalopolis. And it's not like I tried watching, then I got bored. It was genuinely, I got called away because there was some shit I had to do, so I wasn't able to finish it. So, I'll try to watch it at some point. I've heard very, very mixed things about Megalopolis. My friend sent me a review, and it wasn't his review. I think it was something he saw on, I don't even remember what the site's called. I know it's a site for movie reviews. I think it's called like Red something. It's like, I don't think it's Redbox. Because Redbox is where you print movies from. I don't think it's Red Letter Media either. They're their own thing. Anyways, he sent me a movie review that I think gave it like 1 star. And it said something like Megalopolis, like watching Megalopolis was Megacocolus. And it's so dumb, and I love it. And so half the time when I refer to this movie, I just accidentally call it Megacocolus. But like, I'm hoping it's good. I'm genuinely like, I'm not going into the movie like hoping that it is Megacocolus. Like, I'm hoping it's really interesting. And from what I understand, this is Francis Ford Coppola's passion project. He wanted to make it for years, and he funded it himself. And I love, for better or for worse, I love those kinds of movies. This is someone's dream. This is their soul on the page or their soul on the screen. Have at you. Say what you will about The Room. It's one of the worst movies ever made. It's also one of my favorite movies. A, because of how genuinely funny I think the whole thing is. But also, weirdly enough, I can kind of see the vision. You can see the story of, theoretically, just like a regular nice dude, the everyman, whose life is starting to crumble around him. His fiance no longer loves him. She's sleeping with his best friend, so there's an extra layer of betrayal. You've got his mother-in-law, who's probably his biggest defender, who is saying less of, you should stay with him because you love him, and more like, you should stay with him because he provides for you. So it's like, man, even the person who's, trying to keep my marriage together even more than me, or like my engagement together more than me, is only doing it because I have money and something to provide, not because our love is that good or I'm a good person. Not that he really knows that, but it just an extra thing there. And like his more or less adopted kid starts getting into drugs and almost gets killed. So he's got to deal with the stress of that. There's the fact that he didn't get his promotion, which is something that he's been looking forward to. And it's how that almost kind of seems to affect his ego. And like, it seems to really hurt him. And when all of this comes together and comes to a head on his birthday, he can't take it anymore. There is a genuinely tragic story in here. It's just handled so bizarrely that it doesn't work. I think I talked about this before, how Sestero, I believe, directed a shot-for-shot remake of The Room. And he said like it was a charity thing with Bob Odenkirk playing Johnny. And the way he described it, he's like having these really good actors saying these weird lines. It was like if David Lynch directed General Hospital. And I love that description so much. Like, I hope that it sees the light of day. That it is, sorry, I've got like an aura around me now. I guess now you can actually see the fucking sun. I hope it's not just a cool thing they did that never comes out, because I would pay good money to go see that. But, those are movies. In terms of games, it's basically just been Wukong. Although Jose and I have been playing Kingdom Hearts, and we're at Hollow Bastion, and he's going to be back in a couple days after his trip. So hopefully this weekend we can resume playing Kingdom Hearts. I'm trying to think, like, has there been anything else I've played? Like, I've been watching Clay play through the Etrian Odyssey series, but that's been kind of just over the course of the year. I haven't touched them. I've maybe played like a little bit of Mario Party. I don't even think I played Mario Party this month. That feels like about it. Again, like, Wukong's been the only thing I've played, and kind of ready to play Metaphor. Or, okay, I don't know if I brought this up, but I learned about a game called Codename Steam, where Abraham Lincoln teams up with public domain characters, and if you have the amiibo, sorry, I'm trying to block the sun with my head, so the lighting's stuck in your face. Where Abraham Lincoln teams up with, like, the Tin Man and John Henry and Fire Emblem characters, if you have the amiibo, to fight the Necronomicon and aliens. And I didn't know this game existed, but it sounds incredible. And I'm really hoping I get to play it soon. Clay has a copy of it. I think Jose also has a copy of it, so I have access to it. I'm really excited to play it because it sounds fucking wild. I mean, in terms of writing, I already talked about Orichalcum. Like, I got a lot of it done I got a lot of it done last month, and then I was able to get the drafting done this month. Again, hopefully next month I can get a lot of my editing done, and I can get back onto Severance. Our artist for Severance has just kind of been on a hiatus, which we've talked about. Like, everything's fine. It's just like I've got a lot of shit I'm working on. I kind of need time for that. That's cool. And I think I've said this before as well. It's like the fact that you're on hiatus at the same time that I'm on a hiatus from the project really works out. I have gotten art commissions from other artists, not for the project. Like, I've gotten one Severance character and then just some other characters from other stuff, and I just love that. I love getting art of my characters because A, it's cool to go, oh, this is what you look like. That's neat. And then seeing other artists interpret that, and like, it's so fun. And there's also that, oh, this is what you look like. Huh. She's actually really hot. It's always just kind of funny to me. But, that's been going well. So in terms of just the channel and making videos, I feel like November, I've really kind of just gotten back into the saddle of things. Because I noticed for a while, maybe this was just an October thing, maybe it was in September too, it felt like, here's the CTT video of the week, and that's kind of it. Because I just wasn't, I think it was a combination of, I'm not actually like watching anything or playing anything. I'm playing Wukong, but I haven't finished it, so I can't do a review of it. Which does mean, whether I beat the game or not, I am going to get to do a Wukong video in December. That might be very cathartic. Because I know I've gassed the game up a lot, because there's a lot of things about Wukong I really love. There's a lot of shit that I'm like, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this, I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk, I hate the way that you dress, I hate the way that you sneak this, and my catch flight's gonna be terrible. I'm gonna have a lot of shit to say, both good and bad, about Wukong. So I'm actually really looking forward to that now that I'm thinking about it. But to my point, like, I wasn't watching shows, I wasn't finishing any games, I haven't been reading anything, I stopped reading Horizons, and, you know, I still haven't done that shit with a worm. I just wasn't making videos, and in November, I was getting back into that, and I think the first one I really did was the Wild Robot. And was that November 1st? It might have been, it was really early, and it just felt really good to do that again. And then there was also started making like vocal covers, and I've so far been doing one a week. I haven't done one yet this week. Like, I haven't recorded one, so I don't know, maybe I won't do one this week, maybe we'll see. It's just kind of a vibe thing, but I have been enjoying them, and I haven't gotten a whole lot of traction, but they've gotten a decent little amount. That's nice. I like that. I woke up this morning and I apologize, I don't remember what the name on the account was from the comment, but someone left a really nice comment on What a Catch Donnie cover. I'm like, that's so sweet, thank you. Like, I just woke up to just something really nice, and I appreciated that. It's also really funny to me that, like, okay, here's the cover of this song, and then here's, like, an alternate take for the ending of the song, and that has like almost triple the views that the full song does. Probably because it's a lot shorter, but I just think that's really funny. And I also did the top 10 JRPG series. I can't say video because there's like 7 of them, and I really enjoyed that. It was so fucking fun to do. It's like, oh right, I like recording and making videos and just talking about shit for 33 minutes? 30 minutes! And it's still gonna keep going because I got other stuff to talk about. Yay! Loquacious to a fault. I want to do more stuff like that. What I did a few days ago, I was just kind of trying to take stock of a lot of my favorite anime to see if I can condense a list out of it. And I was like, okay, what are some of the shows just like when I think of my favorite anime are off the top of my head? Boom, 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 boom. Okay. What are some of my favorite shonens? Okay. Let me look around and see all my merch. And then at one point I was like, I'm just going to go onto my anime list and just start scrolling. And like, what are some shows that I recognize where I go, oh, I love this. And I didn't even think about it. And I went through like 600 shows. I was like, okay, I think I need to stop now. So, at some point I want to make that video. I don't know what the cutoff is going to be, because I'm not going to do a top 10, because I'm going to be honest, there's a lot more than 10 shows I want to talk about, and I genuinely don't know how much I actually want to rank them. If it's like, yeah, this is my 20th favorite show, and this is the 14th or whatever the fuck. I don't know why I forgot how numbers worked. I might just kind of want to say, here's like 20 of my favorite anime, maybe 25. Again, like, well, what I really want to do is grab a list and say, of the shows on this list, how many do I want to talk about? And that's the number. And if it's one video, it won't be. If it's one video, it's one video. If it's like 10, it'll be 10. But I think that's something I would like to do. I also was putting together a list of my most disappointing anime. Because, I'm gonna be honest, it was 100% inspired by Guilty Crown. Because I've had the first Guilty Crown opening, My Dearest, stuck in my head for like a week. Because I found an English cover that I love. And I'm gonna be honest, My Dear, like, am I gonna do a full Guilty Crown thing? I might, we'll see. My Dearest is genuinely one of my favorite anime openings of all time. Like, off the top, off the dome, and even that might be a list of like, what are some of my favorite anime openings? The original Pokemon anime opening, the English one, I want to be the very best like no one ever was. That will always be my favorite. Some others that really click with me, I love Groove and Magic from Die Buster. That, like, anytime I listen to that at the gym is a good fucking workout. It's like, it's kind of a tone setter. It's a vibe setter. I love it. We got that. My Soul, Your Beats from Angel Beats is one of my favorites. Blanking on other favorites, although I know there's a lot. My Dearest is up there. My Dearest is arguably like, it goes the Pokemon opening and then this one. And then you get the other opening, Everlasting Guilty Crown. And there are so many shows that I have watched that have a phenomenal opening. And I'm like, yes, this is great. I think the show sucks or is kind of mid, but at least the opening's fire. And then they changed the opening. I'm like, you took away the only thing that kept me going. Now I just have to contend with the fact that the show sucks, but I like finishing things, so here we are. Everlasting Guilty Crown is also a bop, and I'm so glad that both openings are dead-ass amazing, because not a lot of the show is. I think the show looks very pretty, the songs are, like, the music's incredible, and there's times where the show works, and I'm like, wait a second, they figured it out. It's not terrible. And then it feels like they realized, wait a second, this works and is not terrible. Let's ruin it. Because, wow. I really want to rewatch Guilty Crown. It's so insane and weird and terrible. There's a whole scene where a dude is in his mech spinning and saying, but it's like, Guy Tatsugami, I'm gonna send you straight to heaven. I'm like, why is he spinning? This isn't Gurren Lagann where, like, that makes sense. Why? Oh, God. I will never forget binging Guilty Crown. Never a good decision, by the way. It's not a safe decision, but binging Guilty Crown and getting to the last few episodes, and I think I, like, texted or called Clay. I was like, dude, if I don't shut my brain off, I am going to get an aneurysm. I think the show will kill me if I take it at face value. There's an episode of Malcolm in the Middle where Malcolm realized, I can be happy if I turn my brain off, if I just stop thinking. Look at Reese. Reese doesn't think. Reese just do. Reese just is. And so I said, I'm going to turn my brain off. And I watched the last, like, 2, maybe 3 episodes of Guilty Crown, and it was so much better without thinking. Because, like, man, if I was thinking, if I cared right now, this shit would be terrible. What the fuck? What? The scene that lives in my head rent free. Like, this is the scene I always think of when I think of Guilty Crown. Aside from the dude spitting. It is the scene of the sister dancing on a map of the world. Like, I think she's like ballet dancing, and then there's like crystals going wherever her fucking feet touch. And I'm like, if I took this seriously, I would be questioning everything. How is this working? This makes no sense. This is so stupid. And all I could think of was, this is pretty. I like this. This is neat. It's everything. I love Guilty Crown. Not because it's good, but because it just is. And I kind of want to rewatch it. But I was thinking, like, do I want to make a video? It's like, here's some of, like, some really disappointing shows that I went into with some degree of expectation, where, like, people have been gassing it up, or it's like, I've heard it's got a really good reputation. Oh, it's kind of, well, I was like, maybe I could put Demon Slayer on there. I'm like, no, I never actually watched it. I was reading Demon Slayer, and I thought, this is fine, and then I stopped because I just didn't care. But I feel like a lot of the love for Demon Slayer is the animation and how good it looks, so I don't think Demon Slayer would really count. And again, I'm not sure how much I really want to make this video, because it's kind of a mean-spirited video. I do just want to talk about Guilty Crown. So I don't know if I'll, oh god, Lost Christmas. That means I can watch it around Christmas. I have this weird tradition, and I don't know if I've actually done it in a while, where when the first snow falls, I rewatch Canon. So I way prefer Clannad, but I like Canon quite a bit, actually. And I just made it a tradition because I thought it was funny. And genuinely, I do like it. Maybe this year, when the first snow falls, I will watch Guilty Crown. This will be Lost Christmas. Oh, God. This is a Christmas video. Merry Christmas, everyone. Let's talk about Guilty Crown. Oh, my gosh. I want to do it. I don't know if I will, but I want to so bad. I have to write that down. That's, oh, no. I like that idea. Anyways, I've been making videos again, and I've been enjoying it. Clearly I have. I have ideas for other shit to do. And I've noticed just in general, the videos are doing a lot better. Like, they're actually getting more, like, views and comments and likes, and that's just nice, and I do really appreciate that. If you do watch my videos, I thank you. It doesn't mean a lot. I hope you're there for the Guilty Crown for Lost Christmas. Oh, I am actually fucking excited. Other things to talk about November. The Saints won a couple football games. I didn't know they were capable of that anymore. Hell yeah, Coach Riz. They can maybe bullshit their way into the playoffs. And now that there's a chance, I have to hope for it. And I don't want to, because I know it's just going to end in disappointment. That's what happened last year and the year before. But I don't know. Maybe the Dennis Allen's not there to finish the season. We can bullshit our way in. Yeah. Hopefully. And just some life stuff for November. I remember the start sucked because, like, car issues. I was like, car issues and then really bad weather. I've had November rain, like, stuck in my head for a lot of this month because we've had a lot of fucking rain this November. Genuinely a great song, but I'm also like, yeah, this is pretty literally apt. There, aside from, like, those first few days, though, and, like, the car shit, it's been really nice. I've had like the sense of peace and joy, even when things are going not great or weird and kind of bizarre. It's like, yeah, there's this sense of peace that things are going to be fine. So far, as far as I'm aware, they have been. It's really nice. And I talked about it earlier. It's like there's been a lot of clarity in some things. And I appreciate that. I like that a lot. November started off really rough. But honestly, it's been a good month. I say, and then like as soon as I finish recording, a fucking meteor's gonna hit me. Like, oh shit. The sun rose and now it's pulling a Majora's Mask. Yay! I'm not gonna get to the Guilty Crown video. Oh, I'm gonna have to do it. I'm gonna have to oh no, I have to rewatch Guilty Crown now. I'm kinda scared. Do I do it with my brain on until I can't anymore, or do I just turn my brain off the entire time? I don't know. I feel like I want to try to engage with it genuinely, but then I'm gonna, oh god, the halfway point. I remember, okay, I'm gonna talk about Thanksgiving here in a second, but I'm stuck on Guilty Crown. I'm sorry. So I remember when I watched it, I was binging it with a group of friends. One of them had already seen it. It was like the show was absolutely terrible. And as we were watching the first half, I'm like, it's not great. The way Guilty Crown feels is like someone watched Code Geass and thought, hey, this is kind of neat, but I can do it better. And then they didn't do it better. With genuinely like some other ideas. Like I actually love the idea of the King's Power. It's like, yeah, I can manifest a person's soul. Hey, that's just really fucking cool. But also it's like, yeah, every person's soul is different, as you would imagine. And just seeing the utility it can have. But also, this is what represents this person. Like his buddy Sugar is a kind of a piece of shit. He's like, he's got this violent side to him. So I believe it's like a pair of shears. That's kind of neat. And then I think it was Hare was like his best friend, and she's just a really gentle soul and a nice person. So she can heal. And it's like, oh, that's so fucking cool. But also, a soul is fragile. These are not indestructible objects, and when they break, they break. I love that shit. Like the arc when they're trapped in the school is, to me, it's the peak. It's like, this is the most interesting the show ever gets, and it's really interesting. But then there's all like just the shit that doesn't work. And I remember when we got to the halfway point, we're like, all right, this is the shit that's actually happening. And I think that's when you get introduced to like the sister, and it fucking collapsed on itself like a dying star. And I don't even remember all the specifics. I just remember Billy, the dude who had seen the show and was like, it's terrible, was kind of getting into it. He's like, I remember hating this, but it's like good. It's at least decent, so long as it's decent. What am I missing? And we got to the halfway point, and he was like a Manchurian candidate. He just remembered everything. He went, dude, I just remembered. Sorry, by saying just remembered, I just remembered that fucking video of Shaggy going, I just remembered, with the caveman, which makes me laugh every time. And yesterday morning, speaking of Shaggy, I saw that fucking video again of Wheel of Fortune, where Pat is trying to do a Scooby-Doo, like a, but it sounds like a dying walrus choking on a fish. And it's like I have tried to make that sound, and I can't. I don't know how he was able to. If you've never seen it, it's incredible. Just type in like Wheel of Fortune Scooby-Doo, and you should find it, no problem. It's worth your time. It's probably like 45 seconds. It's pure bliss. It's art. But I'm sorry, I just leaned down. I saw the fucking sun come in. I apologize. I'm trying to use my big head to block it. Anyways, to my point, Billy just getting to the halfway point going, I just remembered the second half of the show. It's bad. Like, it gets worse. There's this one part that's like pretty good, and then it gets worse. I'm nervous. I'm excited. I'm nervous-sighted. I can't wait for Guilty Crown. Pray for me. I'm gonna need it. So ending this 50-minute long video because of... Man, I remember when it was like 30 minutes not too long ago, and I thought I was almost done, and then Guilty Crown happened. It is Thanksgiving. And I do want to talk about a lot of the things I'm thankful for. And I feel like some of them go without saying, but I feel like I still should. I'm thankful that I'm alive. I'm thankful that my body mostly works. Like, it has problems. Like, I have cerebral palsy. I have literal brain damage. But I can still walk. I can still talk. I can still move my hands. I'm very thankful for that. I'm thankful I have a place to live. I'm thankful I have food. I'm thankful I have clean water. I have shelter. I don't want to take those things for granted. And it's like, yeah, they almost kind of go without saying, but it's still worth saying them. But some more, I guess, like, kind of personal stuff. You know, I am thankful for divine love and the peace and confidence that comes with it. And it's something, like I've said, like this past month and a half-ish, is something I've tried to invest more in, and I've noticed how it's affected me and how it's helped me. I'm thankful for my family's love and their support all these many years, especially this year when I really, really needed it, especially in the first few months. I'm thankful for... excuse me, sorry. Like, I'm thankful for my friends and just the people that I interact with on a daily basis that enjoy my company, not because they have to, but because they choose to. It really means a lot to me, and I'm thankful for the friends that I've been trying to reconnect with over the past, like, month or so. It's been really nice. I'm thankful for my job. Like, number one, I'm thankful that I have one, and number two, I'm thankful that I enjoy it and that I enjoy my coworkers. And that does include my boss, because I feel like I have to say that every time, because I remember this one conversation with a friend of mine where I was talking about my job. I was like, yeah, I really like my coworkers, and she goes, I noticed you didn't say your boss. And I'm like, oh, well, to me, I thought that included my boss. Like, just in case people think those are separate. I don't mean them separately, but I'll say that too. Like, I like my coworkers as well as my boss. Like, I think that shit is Gucci. I'm thankful for a lot of the clarity that I've gotten this past month, especially these past couple of weeks, just on some things. I'm thankful for my creativity and my passion. I'm thankful that I finished that fucking draft, even if I got a lot more to edit. I'm thankful that I have so many projects I can't wait to work on. And I'm not even talking about watching Guilty Crown. Like, I've got Orichalcum, and then I got Severance, and then when those are done, I can go back to Oro, and I'm so fucking excited to go back to Oro. And then I can work on Opulent Shoals at some point. And like, boy, I haven't touched that in a long time, but I finally understand how this ding-dang story fucking works. And it's been so elusive to me for years. I'm like, I'm halfway through it and I can't finish it because I don't know how to write it anymore, because every few months I just change it. I've changed it again, like back in January, and it feels right this time. With so many other points of the story felt like I almost have it, like it's close, but not quite. It finally makes sense. It's not that it just works. It actually works, and I can feel it, and I'm so excited for it. But gotta do these other ones first. It's a nice feeling to just, again, like, passion and creativity. They're awesome. Yeah, I'm thankful that I passed the fucking bar exam. if I had those, like, really shitty 2.5 months and didn't even pass the ding-dang thing, I would have been pissed. I'm very thankful that I don't have to live in that reality again, because it's happened to me before, but that was when that was a whole other issue. I'm thankful that that trial earlier in November, where I said, like, I helped out some people who are really important to me. I'm glad I was able to do that. I am thankful we were able to get the outcome that we needed there. I'm thankful for Adderall, man. It's helped me a lot. I'm thankful that I finally tried to get diagnosed. I'm like, I think this is an issue, and learning that it is, again, and not something this month, but it's kind of added to that theme of clarity, which also, like, that happened early in the year with Opulent Schultz. So I guess the themes of my year have been maximizing time and clarity, because they're honestly pretty nice. I like those. I'm thankful to the people who watch my channel. I do really appreciate it. I'm thankful that I met someone earlier this year that I really care about, and that meeting them has made me want to be better. And there's always room for improvement. There's always still room for growth. But I've noticed in these past, like, couple months, genuinely, my improvements with myself. And I'm like, yeah, like, I said I wanted to be better in other kinds of ways, but I'm actually doing it. Which kind of leads me to the last thing, which is, I'm thankful that I'm really falling in love with myself again. Because I really kind of fell out of it last year. Because last year sucked. Like, 2023 for me was just this, like, hey, we're doing really well because, man, I needed a good 2022 after 2021. And then, okay, we're a bit more down, but we're still good. Okay. And 2024 started here. And then the cruise happened. It was like, oh, that's kind of nice. Oh, right, now we're back to reality. But it's been getting better. And it was kind of like I was saying a couple weeks ago, and kind of trying to say earlier too. It's not that everything has been sunshine and rainbows the past couple months. There have been shitty things. There have just been really weird, bizarre things. But there has been a sense of joy and a sense of peace. And I think a lot of that is just praying more and reading scripture more and singing more praises. Like, I've talked about my faith a lot of times in this channel, but actually investing in it, I'm like, wait, why don't I do this all the time? What the fuck, idiot? But I think also it's actually liking me and enjoying my own company. Not to say, like, I have full-on conversations with myself. I mean, when I'm writing, I kind of do. But, that's helped a lot. I'm really thankful for that. If you've stuck around for this 58, about to be 59 minutes, like I said, I'm thankful for the people who watch. I really appreciate it. I hope you... So I just realized my pose. I'm almost doing like a, how you do? Okay, speaking of which, have you seen that new picture of Bowser? There's this picture of Bowser where he's sitting on his throne and he's just, like, kind of posing like this. And I was telling Clay, I was like, okay, just the raw sexual energy radiating from that pose is so funny to me. It's just so fucking weird. Like, no, I don't want to fuck Bowser, but why is he looking at me like that? I guess that's the note we're gonna end on. Happy Thanksgiving. Hope you have a good day and a good week. week, a good weekend, and all that good stuff.